that hosted Super Bowl 51 back in 2017. We are inside NRG Stadium in Houston. The scene from a few moments ago, this crowd enthusiastically cheering on their Texans as they emerge from the locker room. And we're just about ready for football as the Texans get set to match up with the Kansas City Chiefs. Donovan Peoples-Jones now from the end zone. And he's able to get this across the 20, but not by much as he's marked down officially at the 21.
They go first and 10 at their own 21-yard line.
Stay 50.
The first carry now for Dalvin Cook. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. That O-line, they cleared a big hole there on that run.
The athleticism of offensive lines continues to evolve, and we're seeing it here. Not only are they controlling things right at the line of scrimmage, but they're able to get upfield to get to what we call the second and the third levels. You know, get to the linebacker spot, the secondary spot, getting all the way downfield with their blocking, which helps keep the running back clean.
They'll try to continue that trend here this afternoon. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. Throwing is Stafford. And he finds Parker here, complete. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. They'll wind up losing 3 here on the play. And that'll force upon them a 3rd and 14. Here's Stafford.
Well, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted.
Picked off by Juan Thornhill. And the Chiefs are going to get the football here as they force the INT on the game's opening drive. The Chiefs in good position to start out as they come up 1st and 10 at their 38. Here's Hill now after the interception. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked up by Justin Reed. And a great return as he gets this all the way down close to the 30-yard line.
So a first interception thrown for him there, and that really not the best decision either.
Not at all, and that's something he did not do in their victory last week. No interceptions in that game, but this defense, they're able to take advantage of an early mistake. Now let's see if they're going to turn it into points.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Handoff comes to Cook. And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. 2nd down.
Well, you know, this club, there were some reports earlier in the week, and most have heard this by now, the so-called unnamed sources that were saying all is not rosy in that locker room. There's whispers that 1 or 2 guys, CD, have kind of had enough of how things are going and have been going. How would you handle that as a coach?
Well, you and I both know all the coaches that we've dealt with and come in contact with. They'd love to get their hands on those unnamed sources, wouldn't they? But they know that that's not possible, so I think they've got to go in there and make sure that this isn't a distraction. They also know that once the grumbling starts, it becomes a slippery slope, and it's hard to stop the fall. But I think you need to sit some guys down and say, hey, look, we're still hoping to be a playoff team this year. We need you guys to be bought in with what we're doing. Come on, let's get on board.
And down he goes. They sack him back right around the 41-yard line. Frank Clark fighting his way home to get the sack. So coming on now is the field goal unit. They're going to try for 3, and he'll need all the leg he's got here. So this will be spotted on the midfield logo. It's a 58-yard attempt. And I tell you what, he got it from 58. That had lots of leg behind it. They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces him to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. It's what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. And last time wasn't pretty. 1 play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first play. Give the quarterback some confidence.
See what happens. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
Well, you don't turn your nose up at a gain of 4, do you? They'll take that on 1st down. Playbook's got to be pretty well open on 2nd and 6.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Now here's Mahomes. Taking a deep shot here for Hardman. And that's caught inside the 30. And all the way down to the 24-yard line. A big play there for KC.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
So the big play gets them all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10.
They'll run. It's Edwards-Helaire.
And he'll get about 5 here as he'll take this down inside the 20-yard line.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Brings up 2nd and 5.
Working with 2nd and 5 now.
A quick throw out wide to Fuller. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down.
Edwards-Helaire, they'll try to run for it.
And he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1.
Brandon, what were they thinking on defense there? That looked like they were playing for the pass. That was 3rd and short. Yeah, it was an easy pickup because they handed it to him. That was way too easy.
Just looked like absolute confusion defensively. Not sure why they were in that set.
Yeah, I'd say you ought to have a few men in the box.
And that is caught for the touchdown, Kansas City.
Brevin Jordan.
His 4th touchdown on the year. And the Chiefs have taken the lead.
Extra point by Butker is on target.
And that makes it a 7-3 lead.
Chiefs 7, Texans 3.
Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away.
Peoples-Jones going to elect to bring this one out. And the decision to come out of the end zone is going to cost him 5 yards as he's taken down right at the 20.
First and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. From the 24, Stafford. Open man is the tight end, Noah Gray. They find some open field here. And all the way down to the 22-yard line. A big play there on the catch and run. We know he's good at catching the football, but then after the catch, he's got escapability.
Not only that, he's got some toughness as well because you know he's coached very hard to make sure he battles through, breaks tackles, and then they finish with, but don't fumble the football.
They'll run on first down. Cook. And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. Second down.
This defense for the Chiefs, they were terrific last week in the win over Denver.
And I think our statistician, we ended up having to bring the blue tent and put it around him for a while because he was developing a hand injury from having to write down all the turnovers this team forced. 5, 6, 7, 8. Absolutely unbelievable. I hope he'll recover.
Second down, they go right back to Cook.
And this time they were waiting for him as he'll be knocked down before he can get back to the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard, so it's back to 3rd and 10.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Throwing on 3rd down, Stafford. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Parker. And he will be very close to a first down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means 4th down. And Stafford's going to take it himself. And he gets the first down yardage before he's brought down just outside the 10 at the 11. Only needed a few inches to pick it up and get behind your center and burrow forward like he did.
And remember what the GMs have told us? We build an offensive line starting with our center. The guy who can make all the line calls and also move those big defensive tackles in order to pick up first downs.
On first down, it's Cook. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. After one, 7-3 the score on EA Sports. Misstep on that last play because the drive has been strong, but now it's 2nd and 12. They run the counter with Cook. And able to get him inside the 5 here, just inside the 5 to about the 4. 45 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
But you got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable with that run.
The Texans on 3rd down, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. Here it's 3rd and 3. They'll run it. Here's Cook. And that one going nowhere from the start as he's met in the backfield and goes backwards. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
Shaq Lawson's one of those guys that after a while you quit just trying to define him by a position. Defensive end, outside linebacker, doesn't matter. He knows how to get upfield and spill some plays.
So disruptive. What makes him so disruptive?
I think it's strength. If you see his upper body, I mean, he's got some strength up there and some really good hands, but he's got some surprising quickness as well to get him upfield.
And no effort to bring this one out. It's a touchback.
The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there. Certainly no settling into the drive there. They came right out on the first play and attacked the middle of the field for a big gainer and a first down.
So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield. Now Mahomes. Catch is made by Hardman. And he'll be down deep into Houston territory. A big play there for KC. That is catch number 300 now for his NFL career. So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Now Edwards-Helaire. And here he'll get it down to the 7. They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. To throw, it's Mahomes.
All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted.
Buda Baker with a pick.
And the Texans are going to have it here as they'll start at their own 7.
Charles, not only is that an interception, it's one when you were really knocking on the door for a touchdown inside the red zone.
You're actually thinking points. No matter what, at worst, you're thinking kicking a field goal and getting 3. We might look back on this in the second half and say, you remember when they didn't get points on that drive? This could cost them.
On 1st down, nothing opening up really on the running play. Give him maybe a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
Now it's 2nd and 9.
They run the counter. It's Cook. And they'll bring him down here right around the 17-yard line.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Following the good run by Cook, here's another 1st and 10. And he'll give it here to his running back. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
Second and 8 coming from the 19.
They'll try the air now with Stafford. Escaping the pressure right. And he'll slide to a halt here. Still a little shy of the 1st down marker. 6 yards there off the scramble, but it'll still leave him with a 3rd down. They'll fake it. Now Stafford. Rolling to his right. Toward the sideline. Did he keep the feet in? Yes, he got them both down, says the side judge. And that's good enough for a 1st down.
Now that's all about making something happen as a quarterback, because instead of forcing something on third down, how about him buying some time outside of the pocket, waiting for someone to come open, and when he did, he put it on him for a big play and a first down.
And they're well past midfield, just a yard or two shy of the 40.
68 yards rushing for him, as he has been tough to stop here this first half.
So now 1st and 10 in Chiefs territory at the 42-yard line. They run, Cook, and after the good gain last play, this time they say, as he's going to be stopped behind the line of scrimmage. So officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
At the Chiefs' 44-yard line.
To throw is Stafford. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. It's the Honey Badger, Tyrann Mathieu. And bulldozing his way through. And they will finally put an end to the return, but not until he takes it back all the way inside the 10-yard line. If you combine last week and this week, he's got a hat trick going because he had 2 interceptions a week ago.
He's seeing the ball so well and understanding where receivers are and positioning. I mean, just watching him work with such great technique and paying it off by actually catching the ball when he has a chance, he's helping his team in a huge way.
A gain of 7 that time. 2nd goal.
At the 1-yard line.
And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. And this one will wind up with him losing yardage back to the 4-yard line. It'll be a loss of 2, maybe 3 on the play, and that'll make it 3rd and goal. When you throw it this close to the goal line, usually you're thinking touchdown. Here they actually complete it but lose yardage.
When you're this close to the goal line, you have to anticipate that maybe you're going to see a defense that you can make a case that there's 11 in the box. There's just no room. So I'm with you. You've got to find a way to push things downfield a little bit. Any type of space is better than what we just saw there. And that end result, not one that's satisfactory to them.
A 21-yard attempt.
Butker's kick here is good. And they bump the lead up to 4 now at 10-6.
So the fumble recovery had them set up in ideal field position, but they can muster only 3 points out of it.
Yeah, when you're able to force turnovers, especially when it results in field position like they had, you really want to make it hurt. Here, they take the field goal. That's definitely not what they were hoping for.
Oh, a good-looking return set up here. The 40.
Donovan Peoples-Jones.
He will score. Touchdown, Texans.
And as we've talked to special teams coaches, that theme of being aggressive continues to come through, doesn't it? When they moved the kickoff back to the 35, it was going to cut down on the number of opportunities. But if you've got a special guy, you give him the green light no matter where he fields in the end zone. And in this case, it paid off handsomely.
He fielded it deep in the range of emotions. Maybe like, oh, no, don't. And then all of a sudden you see him break it. And you're like, yeah, way to go.
Yeah, sometimes you have to remind your head coach that he approved the green light for bringing it out from deep in the end zone. And that's exactly why he did.
And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Costs him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20.
The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. And you figure, Charles, they have enough time here in the first half, more than a minute, to put a drive together, at least get them in position to try it. Under pressure, and the Texans able to get in there for the sack. They'll wind up losing 8 on the sack there, and it's 2nd down.
Boy, every time I see speed like that off the edge, Charles, I just don't know how these offensive linemen do it. I would think that they would get called for holding every play, and maybe they should have been called for holding on that one.
Yeah, maybe not just holding, but sometimes you end up setting back in the offensive backfield a little bit farther to try and help you with the edge, that's a penalty as well. Sometimes you overset, they'll come inside of you. That's what speed does.
And all the way in for a Kansas City touchdown. Mecole Hardman, 88 yards. And the Chiefs on just 2 plays have taken the lead. Extra point by Butker is on target, and that will make this a 4-point game.
17, Texans 13.
Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. Peoples-Jones going to elect to bring this one out. And he's only going to make it to the 13-yard line and no further.
Texans take over first and 10 at their own 13-yard line.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And with them trailing, there is still enough time to try to string a few plays together, maybe get into field goal range. Setting up the screen for Cook. And he'll work free from 1 tackle, but that's about all as he's taken down. 3 yards the gain there, 2nd down.
Boy, that one was well read defensively. And this is all about diagnosis as a safety and being decisive, because he saw it setting up in front of him, able to knife through there and make the play.
So we've reached halftime with the visiting Chiefs on top as we send you on over to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman in our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach.
These two clubs running through their final halftime adjustments. It's just about time to get back at it. And for the call of the second half, we go back out to Houston, H-Town, and Brandon Gaudin.
All right, Coach, thanks. Yeah, both teams likely to make some changes in what's been a closely fought battle to this point.
The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive.
And, Charles, they got the lead. I would imagine the overall halftime tone was a positive one, but what do you think the talking points were in the locker room?
Well, if there were 3 talking points at the half, partner, all of them were about turnovers because they were pretty loose with the ball. Otherwise, this lead could be even bigger. Now, I don't think that they overly harped on it, but I think they told him, guys, if you want to keep calling those plays that are exciting, you've got to take care of the ball. Otherwise, we may have to dial things back a little bit.
Meanwhile, Mahomes throw into the hands here of Hardman.
That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran it a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line, but once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
He's going to let this one go deep, and he fires one that's intercepted. Isaac Yedem picks it.
And the Texans are going to have the short field here as they'll take over right at the 50.
That is just what this defense was hoping for, an interception on the opening possession of this 3rd quarter.
Obviously didn't want to surrender a touchdown and fall even farther behind, and we've gotten to know this team a little bit, haven't we? Couldn't you just see their defensive leaders telling the offensive guys, telling the quarterback, don't worry, we got you to start things off. You take it from there.
Good starting field position for the Houston Texans here as they come up 1st and 10 right at the 50-yard line. Try to fire up that running game with Dalvin Cook. And he'll work this forward for about 3 at 2nd down.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
On 2nd down, it's Cook again.
And he's got this down to the 35.
81 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
He's obviously a bit of a shorter running back. Sometimes when he goes up the middle like that, he gets lost in there and then he pops out for 10, 20 yards.
I actually asked NFL linebackers if that was true. Do you actually lose sight of some of the smaller running backs? And all of them confirmed that that can be a problem. Think of it this way. 2 of the top running backs in NFL history, Emmitt Smith, Barry Sanders, both 5'10". Good yardage there on 1st down. Exactly what you want. Get yourself set up to keep making 1st downs, keep the clock running. And if they're smart, you're starting to milk the clock. No hurry before you run your second down play.
Only needing 2 yards on second down.
Here's a carry for the fullback. This is Andy Janovich. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Call it no gain that time, as it's going to leave him with a third and about 3 to go. Another tote for the workhorse this afternoon. It's Cook.
And he is going to have a Texans first down, I do believe. Yes, he's got it by about a yard there on 3rd and 3.
Well, someone's been having a good game so far, and you know something? A lot of it's been power running. They decided to turn him loose again on 3rd down, didn't they?
They did indeed. He delivered the tough yards. They run again on 1st down. Cook. And this time not as successful, as he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and 10 at the Chiefs' 24-yard line.
Now Stafford.
Throw over the middle, caught by the tight end Gray.
They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
7th play of the drive, forthcoming on 3rd and 8. Stafford now to throw. Flush to his right. And that is caught. Touchdown, Texans. Tyler Higbee, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Texans have retaken the lead.
Extra point by Sly is up and good.
And that gives them a 3-point lead.
Chiefs 17. Jack Fox
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes.
Taken at the 15, a short kick.
There he goes, right side. And all the way in for a Kansas City touchdown. He brings the kickoff back 85 yards. And the Chiefs are once again going to retake the lead.
Extra point by Butker is on target.
And that will make this a 4-point game.
Texans 20.
So now the other return teams out there, as they'll try to duplicate what they just saw.
Peoples-Jones going to elect to bring this one out. And they'll get him down right around the 25, actually the 26 officially, so a net gain of 1 there.
Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. This offense thankful, I'm sure, to have the football back, but also, Charles, after a long drive of their own, they've got to be a little weary.
Yeah, I would agree with that, and what you have to do to combat it, try and get fresh legs in where you can, especially to skill positions. And then for the offensive line, instead of attacking, maybe slow the tempo down a little bit, let them catch their breath.
Coming up on 2nd and 7.
Here's Stafford. And the Chiefs are going to get him.
It's Shaq Lawson who worked his way in there to get him down. But just not much a quarterback can do there, CD. The pressure was in his face almost instantaneously, led to a very quick sack.
And it appears that this was just a letdown from the offensive line, but they do have a tough job because if you're a big tackle out there on the perimeter, Sometimes you don't have the agility to keep up with the defensive end who's looking to wreak havoc in the backfield, and he got there and put his man on the ground.
On Stafford for the third time is intercepted. Picked off by the Honey Badger, Tyrann Mathieu. And he'll get this back to the 32-yard line.
I tell you, Brandon, it seems like this guy's been all over the field so far. That's his second interception of the game. And so much of playing defense in the NFL, especially when it comes to defending the pass, is all about positioning and technique. And this is fantastic work on both fronts there.
So after the INT, here's Mahomes. He finds his man complete. It's Barnett.
It's a nice completion, a little bit of run after catch as well to create the yardage that they got. But it is so tough to cover that route, the drag route, because they run it at varying speeds. Because the key is to create hesitancy on the defender's part.
Always so empathetic for those DBs, aren't you?
A good position to be in here, 2nd and inches.
Throwing now is Mahomes. This is caught. And in for the Chiefs touchdown. Great effort there. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. Thanks to the interception, the Chiefs offense with 6.
Extra point by Butker is on target.
And that pushes the lead up to 11.
Chiefs 31, Texans 20. Harrison Butker.
Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away.
Peoples-Jones going to elect to bring this one out. And tackled at the 21-yard line, so a net negative there of 4 yards.
First and 10 at their own 21-yard line.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here.
Second down, they go right back to Cook.
And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. A loss on that play, and now 3rd down gets tougher. 3rd and 6. Stafford. Hard throw, incomplete.
Well, they certainly did a nice job there, picking him up out of the backfield and then running stride for stride with him. That's good coverage, and it led to an incompletion.
The Texans send the punter out. And surprisingly, this is the first punt of the game for either team. That'll go as a punt of 42, 7 on the return. And it's Chiefs football, 1st and 10. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. And they've got the lead here getting late into the 3rd quarter. And the passing game for them, it's been terrific. We've seen that, but the rushing game almost non-existent.
And with the lead and trying to finish this game off, they need the running game to come back to life. They need to get sparked that way, take some time off the clock, and keep the ball away from their opponents.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. They go play action. Now Mahomes. Looking middle, and it's incomplete. Not his best throw there, but where we sit right now in the 3rd quarter, he's had a pretty good game throwing the football.
He certainly has, and it's not exactly at the point where we're doing 4-minute offense yet, but they've got to think about, I'm not going to say milking the clock, but understanding clock management here on out.
So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. Shotgun snap to Mahomes.
He's got Jordan complete right side. And some room to roam now. And down to the 20 he'll go before heading out of bounds. It's a big play there for the Chiefs. So a big play as it gets them all the way down to the 20 now for 1st and 10. A shotgun snap and a give to Edwards-Helaire. Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down. We have played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. 6 yards left on 2nd down. Mahomes going to throw. He'll be hit and taken down at the 21. Call it a loss of 5, a big sack to bring up 3rd down. Well, I think that time he just maybe held on to it a little too long, CD, because after a couple of seconds in this league, you know those defenders are coming.
And how many times did we talk about complementary football? We're usually talking about, does the offense help the defense? Does the defense help the offense? I think in this case, does the quarterback help out his offensive line? You only have a certain amount of time to get rid of the football. They can only do so much. On this play, he took them to the limits.
And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Lonnie Johnson picks it. And now off to the races down the right side. He's at the 30. 10. 5. And they will score a pick 6 for the Texans TD. Well, don't change that channel just yet. This one may have gotten a bit more interesting.
Put down the remote, put down the clicker. This one looked like it was over. It looked like they were ready to seal the deal. But in doing so, by pitching it around a little bit, it cost them. We could have a great finish.
All right, now a big 2-point conversion attempt still to come. After the interception, here's Stafford. That's caught, and he will get into the end zone as a 2-point conversion is successful, and the lead is down to a field goal here in the 4th. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. Well, now how about this return? And they'll have very good starting field position as he's up just shy of the 40. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. And now this 4th quarter becoming very interesting. That pick 6 makes this a 1-score game. Still plenty of time on the clock. We'll see how aggressive they choose to be. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
2nd and 7.
Looking to throw is Mahomes. This pass going to be caught by Hardman. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helps to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
The Chiefs on 3rd down. 2 for 5 to this point. This time they face a 3rd and 2. Mahomes now to throw. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
From a defensive perspective, they had exactly what you want anytime they want to throw the football. There was pressure on the quarterback. They were getting after him, and they tightened down on the receivers and forced the incompletion.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. Fair catch taken right at the 10-yard line. We'll call it 38 yards on the punt, no return. And the Texans are going to have the football with a 1st and 10 deep in their own territory. Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. Their defense accomplished step 1 of the mission. They forced the punt. Now they'll look to erase that deficit and take a 4th quarter lead. Showed some strong running, but quickly corralled just beyond the 10-yard line. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
He's definitely tough to get down. We just saw it right there. But how about what we did see? Pursuit, wrap up, and then the big finish with the tackle.
On 2nd and 9, Stafford. Open man is Higbee, the tight end. And brought down, but not before reaching the 25.
And here we are in the fourth quarter, partner, and watch them drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there. Not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed too.
First down, here's the run with Cook. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4.
Brandon, we just saw the benefits of being able to run the ball successfully. They pick up 4 yards on that carry. So now, if you're a play caller, you can do just about anything you want. But on the defensive side of the ball, you scramble a little bit. Now you're behind trying to figure out, do I need to blitz him? Do I need to pressure him? How do I gain an advantage on this snap?
From the 29, Stafford. He gets this one into the hands of Dalvin Cook. Give him 5 on the screenplay, and that'll set up a 3rd down.
Boy, that was certainly well-read defensively. And the key to any screenplay is space to work. And there was none to be found there. And they tackle him for just a short gain.
The Texans on 3rd down. They've converted a 1/3 of their opportunities, 3 for 9. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. Here's Stafford. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons they're down is that inability, though, to stop the pressure. We saw another example of it there. And now on 4th and 1, it's a fake. A little trickeration there, but it doesn't fool this defense. And the Chiefs will have the football back in excellent field position. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Here's Mahomes to throw. It's complete to Fuller. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll bring up a 2nd and just about a few inches here.
That looked like a pretty good route combination there because you've got to find a way to clear the guy running the drag. Because when you do, you can just put the ball on him and then let him run.
Yeah, he's got some space.
Options galore here. 2nd and a few inches. Edwards-Helaire as they run out of the gun.
And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line.
54 yards on the ground for him so far.
Well, it is our business to analyze what we saw out there. And on that play, I saw a defense staying in base, not taking a chance, not blitzing in a situation where they absolutely need the football back. That's either a case of overthinking it or not thinking it through.
If you do blitz, do you have to be careful about where you're coming from, or are you just coming from all angles?
You have to be careful about where you're coming from, obviously. But at this stage, you have to take a few chances as well.
Mahomes quickly complete out wide. Touchdown! Mecole Hardman, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Chiefs add on to their lead. Butker now to add the extra point. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead.
Chiefs 38, Texans 28. Harrison Butker.
Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away.
Peoples-Jones going to elect to bring this one out. And they'll get him down right at the 25-yard line, so the same result, and he opted for the touchback.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive.
And you figure after giving up that last touchdown, they trail by 2 scores here in the 4th quarter. This drive becomes very critical.
Now a throw here to his running back. And he'll be out of bounds right at the 40. Clock management definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo in this case, down a couple of scores. Want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today.
Picked off by L'Jarius Sneed.
The 20. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. Well, dare I say it, it's kind of quid pro quo. Both defenses now with an interception return for a touchdown.
Your vocabulary, sir. Well done.
Butker on for the PAT. And that'll make this a 3-score game as the lead moves to 17.
Chiefs 45, Texans 28. Harrison Butker at a kickoff.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away.
Peoples-Jones going to elect to bring this one out. And he's able to get this across the 20, but not by much as he's marked down officially at the 21.
First and 10 at their own 21-yard line.
Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going.
And you see a lot of frustrated faces as they are inching closer to a 4th straight loss.
He's going to let one go deep for Parker. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down.
Another throw there off the mark, and obviously he's battled all of the interceptions. Things just haven't been true to form for him. I don't know. What do you think's going on out there, CD?
That's a great question.
And he's taken down. A Chiefs sack.
Bobby Okereke.
Credit him with a sack, and it goes as a loss of 6. The Texans on 3rd down. They're hitting at just 30%, 3 for 10. This is 3rd and 16. Open receiver here, complete. It's Parker. And he finally is out of bounds, but he's down inside the 20-yard line. A big play there on the catch and run. Pretty good timing. He waited just enough for that post play to develop and laid it right in there.
And you know what a lot of teams do when they decide to throw a post route? Because it's a little bit longer developing play. They max protect. Bring everyone in, keep the tight end in, an extra back to make sure the quarterback has time to deliver the football.
Flushed out right. And able to get this down inside the 15, either the 13 or 14 before he's out of bounds. It'll be a gain of 5, and it'll make it 2nd down. From the gun, here's Stafford. And he fires one incomplete. At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense are just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. But they've blanketed the field the entire game using a variety of coverages.
From the gun on 3rd down, Stafford. It gets it into the arms of Parker, complete. And he is going to lose yardage here. So it's Texans football as we welcome you back. And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this... Now the pressure gets there, and he goes down just inside the 20 at the 19. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and the Chiefs defense comes up with a stop. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. And a few kneel downs should just about do it. Now, defensively, they do have all 3 timeouts, but very little reason to use them at this point. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
I know we can't hear what's going on in that huddle right now, but I'll guarantee you at least one offensive lineman is saying, my bad, we simply couldn't move them off the line of scrimmage. We've got to do a better job trying to root those guys out of there.
And they'll indeed take a knee.
Looks like they've got 6 DBs on the field here for a 3rd and 9.
And they take a knee. Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for the Chiefs, they're on a nice early roll as they move to 3-1 with a win here. And they will head home next week to take on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Meanwhile, for the Texans, they'll sink now to 0-4. And they'll look to regroup next week as they head down to Miami to take on the Dolphins.